How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at none other than the Time Rifter, the Rifter of Time himself, Mr. Echo. Echo is normally played in the mid lane or jungle, but I decided this time to play him in the Baron lane. Without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. But yeah, here we go. So I was going against a Mundo in this match. I was very hesitant of going against the Mundo because some Mundo Baron laners are very good, especially with the axe throw. It is cleaver, I know, but I call it an axe. It looks like an axe. A cleaver is a little bit different, I know. The shape of it looks a lot different, but people and players are generally really good at landing that through minions. Every so often, I do take a few occasional blows, and I do miss a few last hits. But knowing I was going against this Mundo, in this match, I honestly thought about what I was doing. I wasn't on, like, auto mode. I was just constantly thinking, right, okay, so what is going to enable me to actually win this lane? And ultimately, the decision I came down to was just making sure I kept poking him with my first ability, just like how Mundo is doing with me. But for some reason, he's taken both procs of my first ability. We do manage, however, to get that third and ultimate onto him, but he manages to make it back into the honeydew fruit just in the nick of time. So he doesn't quite fall there, but I will, however, let you into a little secret. I do get the first kill in the Baron lane. Obviously, we don't get first kill of the match because we're already down 2 kills, which already I was thinking, oh god, I've really messed up here. Like, I shouldn't have picked Echo in the Baron lane. What was I thinking? But bear with me. Let me cook, guys. You will see what I mean by Echo can work in pretty much every lane other than ADC or support. I mean, if you're a really good Echo, you probably could make him work in ADC lane. Technically, he's an APC, but definitely not a support player. Definitely not a support player unless you play him kind of like Pyke, but you have no you don't bring anything to the support roles. Assassin, like Pyke does. Pyke can bring people to them. Pyke can stun them, unless you're very good with Echo's third ability and timing it well, and you've basically got a deer in the headlights player of a enemy support or ADC, then you're not going to quite land them in that AoE stun as much as you are with Pyke's little rift through them. But yeah, as I was saying before, I was just doing my best to dodge his cleaver, but trying to land my first ability, but then also just rack up the gold while I can. As you can see, I'm already ahead of him in experience, and in terms of gold, I'm ahead. Yes, I am ahead, just very slightly, a few hundred gold ahead, which is always a much preferred position to be in when you're against somebody in the Baron lane like Mundo. Mundo has the health. Mundo has the kit to slow me down. He could really do some damage to me, but I feel like this Mundo player just wasn't the best at what he does. Because, I mean, for somebody that has an AoE, for somebody that has he could be throwing minions into me and stunning me. He didn't quite make use of that in his kit, so I don't think he knows how to exactly use Mundo, but I was just literally chipping away at his health, trying to use my passive onto him, but as we know, Mundo can get out of these situations thanks to his ult, but also he had flash. Didn't quite take the ghost summon spell, sorry. I almost like choked myself. But I was also, the other thing I was very wary of, and this is it here, is the Tryndamere coming to engage on me. I honestly thought this was where he killed me. There is a point in this match where I do die to the Tryndamere engage, or it's somebody ganking my lane. I don't know if it's Tryndamere, but I'm pretty sure. I'm 85% sure it was the Tryndamere that ganked my lane and caused me to die. But yeah, that was the only two things I was really wary of and making a conscious effort to actually just pay attention to, was not get landed by Mundo's first ability, unlike there, and the Tryndamere engaging onto my lane. Obviously, I didn't know that he was quite stalking in that tri-bush as much as I thought he was just sort of not there, but I had no vision on him, therefore that's a bad mistake on my behalf, because if you don't know where the enemy jungler is, it's probably best for you to not be overextending unless you know you can get the kill there and then and get out of that team fight, which is probably for the best because we don't want a Tryndamere ahead of our Master Yi. He is, however, only slightly behind in gold. They are tying for kills right now, so that puts Tryndamere in a bit of a tricky situation, but it looks like he's going to get this Rift Herald because Master Yi is nowhere near it. Tryndamere's there. Mundo's there. I thought it'd be good for me to put some vision onto the Rift Herald just to try and contest it, but it was kind of hard. There's not really much I have within my kit that is going to make me secure this Rift Herald because I've got the slows of the Mundo. I've then got to compete with the smite from Tryndamere, and here we go. We're seeing it here. Possibly no. They don't want to dive me. They don't want to dive me, even though Mundo has his ult and he has a flash. No, he doesn't actually. His flash is on exhaust. Sorry, his flash has been exhausted. But yeah, I was really confident in this matchup, knowing that I was actually focused on what I was doing, on what I was looking out for. I just pretty much just forgot every other lane. I thought, if I can get ahead, I can win this. And that's all I had in my head, was just, I'm just focusing on when I can get ahead, what I can do to outplay this Mundo. Mundo's already procced his ult. He's got that health. I play quite a little bit aggressive here, but by the time I try and get in there, his ultimate's done what it needs to do. It's got him back up to half HP, and I'm back where I'm back at literally 0% of getting the kill onto the Mundo because I have no mana. So recall him back. We do go for Lich Bane first item, and I believe I do build the boots for my second item, and then it will be Oblivion Orb for that anti-heal, because we really need it. When you're going against the Mundo, you definitely want to be building anti-heal, and I feel like that's what gave me the upper hand early game, was going for the anti-heal, because having that knowledge that Mundo heals himself, which everyone should have when they're playing this game. If they don't know that by now and they've been playing for 6 months, they should probably reevaluate how they're playing and what they're playing to achieve. Not always. I'm going to say, that can't be my phone right now. That's definitely my phone when it was recording, because my phone's on like 90-something%. That just completely like tripped me out there. Here we go, Mundo and Master Yi. I mean, Echo and Master Yi going on 2-0-1 on Mundo. I go in there with that third ability, just cracked. That third ability with First Strike, and then not only having Lich Bane, but then also having those ability boots. That's dangerous. That skill is just phenomenal. Not my skill, just that third ability. It just does so much damage, especially with First Strike. I feel like this is where I get caught out here. This is my first death of the match because it's a 3v1 up in the Baron lane. Seraphine's like slowly reacting to it, but watch this. Watch its outplay potential though. I don't go down without a fight. Boom goes Lux, boom goes the Tryndamere. So I did die, but I got a double kill. I was literally jumping for joy in that whole engage. Like, but how many players could you say could confidently do that? Use that thirst ability, knowing that you're going to track it onto the Lux, and then for it to come back onto the Lux, kill the Lux, and then get the Tryndamere as well, thanks to the turret. I mean, that's either down to me playing Echo and understanding his kit quite a bit, because he's one of my favorite champions. He's definitely one of my favorite assassin champions to play. Look again, once again, that stun, just about. I go back in. I use it to get out of there. Not quite getting the kill on the Mundo just yet, but looks like I get the kill on the Lux as well. So that's now putting me 4-1. I'm 4 kills already. This Mundo has no kills at all. I auto-attacked onto the turret by accident. I probably could have got that Mundo kill, but I'm going to get it there as well. So that now puts me on 5-1. So already I can say that Echo works in many lanes, not just jungle, not just mid lane. If we're thinking about how the meta is right now, I feel like he works better in the Baron lane than he does in the mid lane, because there's so many like champions that could really counter him. Obviously Yasuo with his wind shield blocking that first ability, but if you're not playing a champion that can really block that first ability and block the activation of First Strike, getting that little bit of damage onto you, getting that sort of mental damage onto you as well, thinking, oh, it just keeps tapping me, it keeps poking me, it's really annoying. I think being in that matchup, it just makes things so much easier. But like you can see, I'm 5-1 already. just over the 10-minute mark. We managed to get the Infernal Drake, so obviously my AP damage is going to be nuts now. Not quite managing to land that kill onto the Caitlyn. I do have to leave some kills for my team just so they can get on my level. But if we look at that goal difference, I'm 2.3k ahead of Mundo, which is huge in lane. If that was just like a team goal difference, it wouldn't be anything. But look at that. So going with the third, we proc the first ability out of sight. Ziggs thinks he's safe. We use our rewind to save ourselves from the turret. The first ability comes back through Ziggs, kills the Ziggs as well, giving us a total of 6 kills whilst we manage to take the Ziggs. Not quite taking that turret though in the duo lane, but it's only a matter of time before we take that turret as well. But like I was saying, back to my original point, if it was 2.3k as a team holding gold, it wouldn't be as impressive, but because that is just a lane alone is huge. Because if you think about it, 2.3k is almost a item. Some items cost 2.4, 2.5, going up to the 3k, but as you can see, it's enabled me to get Oblivion Orb, so my anti-heal for Tryndamere for Mundo is going to be massive. I've now got my Rabadans, so that is going to be huge AP damage on my part. We do still manage to secure the Baron Nashor and Tristana there getting a kill. I thought, honestly, that was my kill because of that first ability, just going past him and then waiting to come back into him. But Tristana just manages to use her ult and knock him into the back of the wall to stop him smiting it, but then also to get the kill as well. So props to the Tristana. I have to say that Tristana played... the early game was very, very stalematy, just like my duo partner in the Sona match that I'll be releasing or have released already. You would have saw it. The Tristana took quite a while to activate, but I feel like because I had such a lead in my lane, it's enabled the Tristana to get this far ahead. We're pretty much 12, just under the 13-minute mark. We are at the inhibitors. We've taken the mid lane inhibitor, and we are 8 kills up. We are 6... let's say 7k. I'm being generous to my team. We're 7k gold ahead right now, which is a massive when it comes to a team difference. And then if we go back to look at the difference in the lane, I am now up a steady 3k. I'm a whole 3k and a bit ahead of this Mundo. This Mundo doesn't know what's heads or tails. He still hasn't built any magic resistance, so this kind of gives you insight on how bad this Mundo player is now. So at first, we can kind of sort of gauge if he's just being bad, if he's just missing his skill shots. But as you get later on into the game, he's built Boots, which is plated steel cap. He's built Sunfire Cape, which is generally your standard item first for Mundo because of the AoE and the burn as you're in attacking these champions with that massive ultimate. But then he goes for Warmogs. He could have gone for a magic resistant item just to make him less squishy to me. And he probably would have done a lot more damage. He would have had a lot more leeway in that fight and in that lane. And we just take our 7th kill for the taking there onto the Caitlyn. And now because he doesn't have any magic resistance, he's struggling against 1v1 Kennen. That's how bad this Mundo is. So his passive pretty much stops him getting CC'd. He still dies to a Kennen because he has no magic resistance. He probably should have gone for magic resistance either on the boot or as a second item. That Warmogs is not going to suit him at all because he's got Seraphine to contend with. So, as you can see, that was a bad play by me. I didn't quite use my ultimate to its full potential, unfortunately, and then got caught out by the Ziggs. But as I was saying, with the Mundo, he could have gone for second item, magic resistance, or even boots. He is now building some sort of magic resistance on his third item, but he would have to contest with Seraphine. He'd have to contest with Kennen, and he would have to contest with me. And looking at the damage that can be done to him, considering that me and Kennen are laners and we're only 1k gold behind the Master Yi, kind of tells you something as a Mundo player. As a tank, you should be like, right, okay, not only am I laning against an AP champion, but they have another 2 AP champions on the team. Maybe I should go magic resistance before I go armor or health. If you guys don't think that way and you're still watching this video, please adapt your thinking to your lane. It doesn't matter if your team needs it. What matters is what can get you out of this laning phase on top. It's not like you have to buy an item and you're stuck with that item for the rest of the match. You can sell it later on if it's not serving you any favors. But when you're looking to win that laning phase, you kind of want to be building stuff towards you. But oh, we just lost the Baron because people were just fine in there. All right, and as you can see, because they've taken that Baron Nashor, I honestly thought that the enemy team was going to win this match because that is a massive cock-up. Me as a jungle main, I have been in that position before where I've allowed them to steal the Baron Nashor by just pure I'm ahead of myself. When you're sitting at 9-2, you're kind of thinking, I'm unstoppable. But it's moments like that that really humble you in this game, and it's moments like that that you need to sort of remember how to bounce back from. So if you don't know how to bounce back from those kind of things and you just mentally tilt after something like that happens, that's kind of like an adjustment you need to make in your mental as well. Is you need to be like, right, okay, so yes, we messed up that. Yes, we lost it. But I can't allow the enemy team to win now. Especially when you've got so much going for your team. In terms of gold, we are behind now. But in terms of kills, we're still ahead. In terms of dragons, we're still ahead. We've got still plenty of damage. Plenty of outplay potential. That Seraphine, almost catching out the Lux though. And here I am, just on the long side, trying to take out one of these champions. I go back into the Dragon Den. I do, however, I think I fall here. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much I could really do there because I ulted back into the dragon and I probably should have just waited a little bit longer. But here is the saving grace. Look at Kennen go with the Seraphine as well. That AoE ult with Seraphine, dealing that and giving that shield. And then Master Yi just comes along and takes the Elder Dragon. That minion wave in the duo lane has been sent by an celestial being because that was placed perfectly at the right time, at the right place. Enemy team wipe. Master Yi is at the Nexus. Our minions are at the Nexus. And we managed to win the match. And that is how you recorrect your mistake after losing the Baron Nashor. But the most important part was the Echo being able to outplay the Mundo in the laning phase, completely psych out the rest of the team with ganking onto other lanes after I've completely dominated my lane, and then just making sure you're maintaining that tempo. The only thing I would probably say to learn from me is just not to get too lost into your own cockiness like you saw that I did. There's a few muck-ups towards the end with the not pressing my ultimate when I go against Ziggs, so I gave Ziggs a free kill. I pressed my ultimate too early, went into the Dragon Den, almost lost the Elder Dragon. That would have been definitely something we couldn't have corrected. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I'm trying to take a little bit more of an educational approach, but also an analytical approach to the enemy team, to me as a player, so I can kind of give you a little bit of insight of situational issues or things that may come up in your games, and you may think back to a time, Blam spoke about that in this video, what did he say? And you can go back to the video and watch it again, or if you have a great memory, you'll remember what I said. But thank you very much for dropping by once again, guys. Let me know what you think of the Baron Lane Echo plays. Would you play him in Baron Lane yourself, or would you stick to him in the mid lane or jungle? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you on the next video.